Good morning. Today we will start a new chapter or new topic of the chapter probability, that is conditional probability. Now we have seen that for an experiment E, if two events are connected, A and B, that the occurrence of A and occurrence of B happening at the same time, that is simultaneously, then we can find the probability using if we know that probability of A is given. Okay, if we find the probability of A is given, that is A is already happened, then probability of B, which is dependent on probability of A, then there will be a conditional. Okay, as B is happening in condition that A is already happened, so this is called conditional probability. So whenever a event is already happened and we have to find the another event connected to the given event. Okay, now here we have to find the probability of B, which is already condition to A is already happened, then we have to find the probability of B by A. So this is defined as the probability of occurrence of B such that A is already happened. This is called the conditional probability of B with respect to A. Now to find this kind of probability, we use the formula that P of A intersection B divided by P of A, provided P of A not equals to 0. So whenever a event is already happened, the probability should be not equals to 0. Okay, so this is the conditional probability. As an example, if we say that example, there is a bag which contain, let's say, 4 white ball, 5 red ball. Okay, so 4 white ball, 5 red ball are in a bag. Okay, we have to select 2 random ball simultaneously. Okay, একই সঙ্গে, then 2 ball will be selected. Now if you have to find what is the probability that first ball is red and second ball is white. So first ball is red and second is white. If we consider in this form, the first ball is taken out from the bag and then the second ball is taken out from the bag, then we see that whenever the first ball is selected, there is total 9 balls here in the bag. When first ball is already selected, then we already find that the probability of first ball of red. If we take the event A is the event corresponding to getting a red ball in the first draw. Then for the second draw, if we take that as B, from the second draw, as first ball is already happened, already taken out, then the remaining ball will be 8 ball. Okay, so whenever second ball is selected, the geometrical condition for the first ball is already changed for the second ball. Okay, so this is conditional, as B does not have the same condition as A have. So B is dependent on A. Whatever A is happen, the B will have the probability remaining part. Okay, so if we take this as the condition, then the probability of A, which already happened as the first ball is selected, the probability of A to, if we consider the first ball, then we have to select the first ball. So there is total 9 ball. Okay, we have to select 1 ball which will be red. So required red ball is 5, so we have to select 1 ball in 5/9 ways. Okay, 5 ways. Okay, the probability of A will be 5/9. Now for the probability of B, now B happening as the condition that A is already happened, P of B by A. So P of B by A means the probability of B when A is happened. So whenever A is happened, the total number of ball in the bag will change to 8. Okay, so whenever B is happened under A, the total number of outcome will be 8. As for the second selection, the number of ball remained 8, and we select the B event as the white ball will be selected. So required white ball, the remaining white ball is 4. We have to select one ball. So the required probability is 4C1, that is 4 ways. So required probability is half. So there is no only probability of B. Okay, there is no only probability of B, as B is happened in that condition that A is already happened. So whenever this condition arises, we will use the conditional probability. Okay. Now it will be also taken as that A by B. A by B means the probability of A whenever B is already happened. So this is the formula for this is also P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Okay, so in this way we will find the two conditional probability theorem. One is P of A by B and second is P of B by A, which is P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Okay, so it will be, it is all remain, or let's say whatever the event you choose, it is depend on what event you are choosing. Okay, if you choose B as the first event and A is the second event, then we will use P of A by B. For if A is the first event and B is the second event, then P of B by A. Okay, so first you have to know that it is conditioned. Okay, now next part is independent event. So the conditional event happened whenever there is a dependent, there is one event is dependent on another event, then there is a conditional probability. Now if there is no condition or there is no connection between two events, then these two events will called the independent event. As an example, if we select the first example as in this form, that 4 white ball and 5 red ball. Okay, so 4 white ball, 5 red ball. If we question this as in this form, the first ball is selected and found to be red. First ball is selected and it will be put back in the bag. Okay, and then a second ball is selected. Okay, second ball is selected, find the probability that it is white. Now the probability of first ball getting a first ball red we have find, so which is 5/9. Okay, similar when second event is happening, that is the event B, the getting a white ball. Now as the first event happened and we replaced the ball in the bag, then for whenever we select the second ball, the geometrical condition remain unchanged. Okay, so the geometrical condition for A and geometrical condition for B is same. That means B does not depend on A. Whatever be A happened, whatever be the condition for A, B does not depend on A. So probability of B will be, there is 9 ball also. So we see that the sample space for A and sample space for B will be same. The 9 number of outcome will be we will get the 9 number of outcome. And as B will be white, there is 4 white ball, 1 ball will be selected in 4 ways, 4 by 9. So you see that when two event is connected, the probability of B by A, there is no probability of B, as B is connected to A. Geometrical condition is changed. But in this example, we see that 1 ball is selected and put it back in the box. Then B is selected. So B have the same condition as A have. So this is independent event. So in theoretical, this is in formulatic, we get A and B is said to be independent, are said to be independent if P of B by A equals to P of B. Okay, that is A is already happened and the probability of B, and only probability of B will be same. Okay, also P of A by B equals to P of A. So if these two condition holds, then we will say A and B are independent. Now these two formula and this condition together represents P of A by B. So if A and B are independent from 1 and 2, we will get P of B by A. So P of A intersection B divided by P of B equals to P of B by A by B. Okay, this is the formula for P of A by B. Now if this A and B are independent, then this will be P of A. That implies P of A intersection B equals to P of A into P of B. Okay. Also, if we consider the second formula, which is P of B by A, so P of B by A equals to P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Now, as it is independent, so this will get, from this we will get P of B. So P of A intersection B divided by P of A. That implies P of A intersection B equals to P of A into P of B. Okay. So these two part together represents the conditions for A and B to be independent. So this is the necessary and sufficient condition for A and B to be independent, which is P of A intersection B equals to P of A into P of B. Okay, implied and implied by A and B are independent. Okay, so this is the condition. So if we have to find that two events are independent, we have to show that intersection of these two events, probability of intersection of these two events is the multiplication of individual probability of the event. Okay, and A and B are independent, then this will hold. If this will hold, then A or B are independent. So in this theory, if A and B are independent altogether, then each of this part will be independent to each other. That is A, B, A complement, B complement are all independent to each other. Independent to each other. So the proof of this theory is not important to you, as the condition will be problem based, but I will give you the PDF. You can see it or you can solve it yourself. Okay. So we see that the conditional probability starts with two formula. In this formula we will get from this formula we will get that if A and B are independent, we will get this theory. Okay, from this theory you can also find using this part, this formula, we can solve many problems. Okay. Now next part is multiplication theorem. Okay, multiplication theorem is, we see that P of A by B equals to P of A intersection B divided by P of B, and P of B by A equals to P of A intersection B divided by P of A. So in this part we can write P of A intersection B equals to P of B into P of A by B. Okay, also we can write P of A intersection B equals to P of A into P of B by A. Now, so use of these two formula will depend on which event is happening first. Okay, if B is happening first, then P of A intersection we have to find. If B is happening first and we have to find the P of A intersection B, then we will use this formula. If A event is happening first, or the probability of A is given and we have to find the probability of B, or probability of B is also given, we have to find P of A intersection B, then we can use this formula. Okay, so it is depend on the question and depend on which event you take as the respective event. Okay, so these two formula is called the multiplication theorem. It can be also used for three event A, B, C. Okay, P of A intersection B intersection C equals to, if A is happened, then B is happened, then C is happened, then the by multiplication theorem, P of A into P of B by A at B is happened when A is already happened into P of C by A intersection B. This part is A and B already happened and C is happened then. Okay, so P of C of, this is the extended form of multiplication theorem. Okay, so these are the first properties of conditional probability. I will do two questions, then in the next part, next class, I will take the rest of the theorem. Okay, now first question. If wait okay a problem can be solved by A and B with probability half and 1/3. Okay, now a problem is given to them. What is the probability that problem is solved? Probability that 1, the problem is solved. Second, only one of them solves the problem. Only one of them solves the problem. Okay. Now, so here is two event A and B. So probability, if we said that E be the event that A solved that problem, E be the event that A solved the problem, and F be the event that B solves the problem. Okay, so probability of E, which is already given, is half, and probability of F, which is given already, 1/3. Okay, now probability of E and probability of is given. Now problem is solved. First question is problem is solved. So what is the event for the problem is solved? Problem is solved mean A can solve the problem, B can solve the problem, or together can solve the problem, right? So that means if we take the Venn diagram, this is the portion that A solved the problem and this is the portion that B solves the problem, okay? As the common part is A and B both solve the problem, okay? So if we take all the three conditions, that A solves the problem, B solves the problem, A and B together solves the problem, then the total area for the problem is solved is the A union B, okay? This is also can be considered as at least one of the problem, at least one of them solves the problem, which is also the area of A and B together, that is A union B. So whenever there is a question that problem is solved, then we have to find the union, probability of the union, and also if there is a question at least one of them problem is solved, then there is also the event is A union B. We have to find the probability of A union B, okay? So the problem is solved, probability of problem is solved is P of A union B. So by the theorem P of A plus P of B minus P of here P of E intersection F, this is E and this is F, E intersection F, so probability of E, probability of E, F, probability of E intersection F. Now probability of E intersection F, this part is not given in the condition, in the question, okay? So how we will find the probability of E and E intersection F? Now we see that as one person solves the problem, he or she does not depend on another person. Here whenever A solves the problem with the probability half, he does not depend on the person B. Also B is not depend on A. So A and B are independently solves the problem, okay? So A and B are independent, so E and F can be considered as independent event. Independent event. So by theorem we know that whenever two events are independent, the probability of intersection will be probability of a multiplication of the probability of each event, that we can write P of E into P of F. Okay, this is the condition for two event to be independent. So P of E is half, P of F is 1/3 minus P of E is half, this is 1/3. So total 6, this is 3 plus 2 minus 1, that is 4/6, which is 2/3. So this is the probability that problem is solved. Now next part, question number 2, only one of them solves the problem. Only one of them solves the problem means that A solves the problem, then B cannot solve the problem. So there are two cases, A solved the problem but B didn't solve the problem, or B solves the problem but A didn't solve the problem. So there are two cases. Case 1, A solves, B doesn't solve. This have to happen, this must happen simultaneously, okay? Simultaneously A solves the problem but B didn't solve the problem. And case 2, B solves but A doesn't solve. Okay, now we see that A happened but B didn't happen. The event for A happened but B didn't happen is A intersection B complement. Okay, we have already discussed this type of problem in the theory, okay, in the previous class. And B happened but A doesn't happen mean B intersection A complement. Okay, so this we have to find the probability of each of these cases and we have to add the probability. As this is case 1 and this is case 2, either this case happened or this case happened. So either or means the total event for that only one person solve the problem is A intersection B complement union B intersection A complement. Okay, so we have to find the probability of this part. So this is the event for only one of them solves the problem. Okay, now if we consider this picture, that this is the part that A solved but B doesn't solve. So this is, if we consider the event corresponding to A and B, then this will be E and this will be F, and this will be F and this will be E. So required probability will be P of E intersection F complement union F intersection E complement. Okay, now this part which is defined as E minus F, which is the E intersection F complement, and this part which is F minus E, so this part is F intersection E complement. Okay, from this picture we already see that these two parts are disjoint. Okay, so these two parts are disjoint. So as these two parts are disjoint, so by the theory union will be transformed as plus. So probability of this event, as this part and this part are disjoint, so this we can write P of A intersection F complement plus P of E intersection F intersection E complement. Okay, we have seen this theory in the previous classes. Now also A and B are independent, so E and F are independent. As E and F are independent, E, F, E complement, F complement, they are all independent to each other. So the intersection will transform as multiplication. This will be P of F into P of E complement. Okay, now by the complementary theorem, P of E complement equals to 1 minus P of E, so 1 minus half, which is half, and P of F complement will be 1 minus P of F, which is 1 minus 1/3, which is 2/3. Okay, by putting this part, P of E, which is half, P of F complement, which is 2/3, plus P of F, which is 1/3, P of E complement, which is half. So 6, 2 into 3, 2 into 26, 2 plus 1, which is 3 by 6, which is half. So this is the required probability that only one of them solves the problem. Okay, so study this conditional probability. I will be sending a PDF and just study it, and some problem just go through with it. I will do extra question in the next classes. Okay, and there are two main theorem, which is total theorem and base theorem. After that this chapter will be completed. Okay, and that's it for today. Thank you.